Hi, I'm boat test editor Eric Colby. Today I'm on the new Sailfish 316 dual console. We're going to do a full performance evaluation and features inspection. So let's get started. Sailfish tells us this boat is fishing focused with family features. Now let's take a look at the cockpit that's wide and deep. It's a dance floor if you want it to be. To starboard, a pull-out seat, line hangers, gate to the stern, another fold-out bench seat, your dive door, and a jump seat. All the seats open on heavy-duty stainless steel hinges, providing capacity for 6 people. Forward to port in the cockpit, there's a large aft-facing seat. In the base, there's dedicated storage for the 4-step ladder that clips in place at the hull side door. And note the pivoting stainless steel grab handle that swings into place to make it easier to board, especially when you've got full gear on. These drain plates are the best design we've seen because they maximize water flow. I'd like to see all builders use them. There's a battery monitoring system and a shore power plug. Now to port and starboard, insulated fish boxes, and in the center of the deck, an inspection plate to access the fuel tank fittings. Now as we transition to the stern, in the aft starboard corner, there's a beverage holder, a pull-up cleat, a pull-up shower, and a rod holder. And speaking of rod holders, there's 6 more across the stern, and to port, there's a live well. The live well has an acrylic hatch. It's rounded, painted blue, and aerated. For the family that likes water sports, there's an optional ski tow pylon available. Working our way aft to the swim platform through a gate to starboard, there's a stereo remote, stainless steel grab rail for when you use the 4-step ladder to board. Underneath the hatch for the ladder is a freshwater fill. There's a 5-inch deep passageway ahead of the motors and the splash well. And aft to port, there's wet storage. The wiring for the outboards is run through flexible conduit, and the hydraulic lines are easily accessed. Plus, there are inspection panels in the splash well. Our test boat was powered by twin 300 horsepower Mercury Verado outboards. You can also get Yamaha power. We always appreciate it when a manufacturer provides access for systems and maintenance. Seacock access, battery switches, and look at this. Your batteries, your charger, your bilge pumps, and your live well pump. On our test boat, we had the optional bar behind the helm seat, has an isotherm refrigerator, has a sink with a fold-up faucet, wine rack, counter space, 2 stainless steel beverage holders, and 3 storage drawers. As we move forward, there's a large in-deck locker between the helm and companion seats. The hatch opens on 2 stainless steel struts and has a rubber gasket to keep things nice and quiet. There's also storage under the companion seat in a pull-out drawer. Inside the helm console, there's plenty of storage. The stereo amplifier is inside, as are the pop-out circuit breakers and access to the helm rigging. Moving into the bow, there's an air dam that closes off the walkway, and the center of the full-height windshield slides open to let air flow through. One of the safety features Sailfish likes to point out is the depth of the bow. I'm sitting in up to my shoulders. I can reach this rail. And on the inboard side, a fold-down armrest. In the bow to port, there's an insulated cooler that drains, another locker under the forwardmost cushion, and to starboard, there's storage for a 5-gallon bucket and a dedicated rack for the table that can be positioned in the bow or the stern. There's more in-floor storage, and again, notice the high level of attention to detail with the gasket and the pneumatic strut. There are stainless steel beverage holders forward, along with USB ports and stereo speakers. We have the optional pull-up shower, 2 pull-up cleats, and then the ProFish windlass with access to the road on each side. There's also a safety cable and a cleat, and a stainless steel anchor exits through the stem. Kevlar is used to reinforce around the bow eyes, and carbon fiber is used in these corners for the hardtop to reduce the chances of cracking and just stiffen things up a little bit. Now at the helm, the boat comes standard with a 5-inch Mercury vessel view screen, and the switches for the docking lights, the spreader lights, and the overhead lights are up here as well. We come down to the main helm station. Compass is in line with the steering wheel, and it's a tilt wheel. This boat's upgraded with twin Garmin 12-inch screens. You've got accessory switches just below on each side, Fusion stereos to the left, Garmin VHF down low. To the right, you have the UltraFlex power steering control system, your windlass, your searchlight, the new generation Mercury digital throttle and shift. are positioned very nicely to work the tabs. Makes it real effortless, and you're always keeping your left hand on the wheel. There's a storage bin with 2 USB ports. Stainless steel beverage holder. Now Sailfish mixes ergonomics and attention to detail. Notice the diamond stitch on the upholstery. You've got a fold-out bolster. You've got 2 folding armrests, and the seat adjusts electrically, fore and aft. There's an angled footrest with a non-skid finish. Now just across from the helm, the companion seat, I'd call it a 1.5. Nice stainless steel hinge assembly, the nice upholstery and finish, 2 folding armrests, a bolster that folds up, and forward we have 2 USB ports, a stainless steel cup holder, and a locking glove box. Now forward of the glove box there's a window that lets light into the private head compartment, and in the walkway there's a vent. And in the usual location, the private head compartment is in the port console. Outboard, there's a sink and a solid surface countertop. There's storage down below, and controls for the toilet are on the front. For improved traction and easier cleanup, the sole is finished in synthetic non-skid teak. Another example of attention to detail for the hatch, there's a stainless steel gas strut to keep it from bouncing or slamming. Okay, we can lock the head door. We come back, there's 82 inches under the hardtop. Overhead storage for life jackets keeps everything out of the way. Now this whole underside of the hardtop, the support structure, has a real beefy, robust feel to it. These can come in handy as grab handles, and the whole thing's powder coated so it'll last better in the salt environment. The underside of the hardtop can be painted to match the hull sides as an option, and then for people seated in here, I'd like to see a grab handle. The 316 dual console measures 32 feet 6 inches long with a 9-foot 9-inch beam and a draft of 22 inches. Our test boat weighed 8,100 pounds without engines, and with 4 people, 199 gallons of fuel, 19 gallons of water, and test gear, we had an as-tested weight of 11,478 pounds. Powered by twin 300 horsepower Mercury Verado outboards, the 316 dual console hit a top speed of 50.2 miles per hour at 5950 RPM. We recorded best cruise at 3,500 RPM, where she ran 23.9 miles per hour and burned 15.8 gallons per hour. This translated to 1.5 miles per gallon and a range of 362 statute miles, with 10% of her 265-gallon fuel capacity held in reserve. It's worth noting that she never dropped below 1 mile per gallon through the power curve. In acceleration tests, our test boat planed in 5 seconds and hit 20 miles per hour in 5.8 and ran through 30 in 8.8. We trimmed to about 15 degrees on the outboards on the positive side, and the boat felt stable, it felt solid, and it was just a very comfortable ride. Now, one thing you'll find in calm waters, we're right now in about maybe a foot, 6-inch of windblown chop. We're not moving much. There's no need to even think about adding an aftermarket stabilizer to this boat. You won't need it. The 316 dual console went into a turn at 45 miles an hour and just banked so cleanly through it. I was very comfortable the whole time. It held the speed, it held the line, the props didn't bark, so you can just tell this boat's really well dialed in. And then we went outside. And in 4 to 6 foot seas that were running solid with some occasional 8-foot holes, the boat acquitted itself very well. Now this is a big day boat, and you're gonna have a lot of friends and family on board. You go out, the start of the day is calm. After what we experienced today, no one's gonna have any concerns about getting home in one piece. Our test boat had the 6th generation of the variable degree stepped bottom, which starts at 24 degrees at the V, flares out to 23, and flattens out a little more at 22 at the chines. And what this does makes it almost a little bit counterintuitive to a conventional just straight 24 degree bottom, because this boat likes positive trim even in the rough conditions we were in. Rough water performance, I'd say we got that checked. Space for family and friends, yup. Fishing amenities, cruising amenities. The Sailfish 316 has everything covered. For Boat Test, I'm Eric Colby. And please remember, put it on. It's federal law.